Hey, Venture Worship Team, it's Shannon here. I wanted to do a quick video about the P16 and how to set up a mix for you guys so that you guys can build your mixes better, troubleshoot if there's a little issue or not, and be more confident on this unit. It's a great unit, especially for the price. Again, I think it's fantastic. I really love these things. Obviously, I have them in my studio. That's where we are right now. A little shout out to the studio. But I'm going to show you guys how to mix on this. The concepts at church are exactly the same as here. My layout's just a little bit different on the channels that I have. But let me get right into it. We're going to start off with, excuse me, some overview of the controls. So let me start right here with main. This is your main volume, your main headphone volume. Now, the P16 has one thing that's a little weird. It has two places for you to set your main volume. Okay? I'm not exactly sure why they did that. So here's a way I use to work around it. First thing I do is when we go in, I'm going to hit main, and I'm going to set my main volume to just right below max, okay? And I'm going to leave it there, not touch it. Now, let me go to mixing a channel. Doesn't matter. That's still then the same. Now I'm going to be able to control my main volume output right here. And I'm only going to use this to control my main volume output. I will never go back now and mix my volume with this. I'm going to leave it there and just always mix my volume right here. If you do that, then you'll be set. If you wind up saying, I can't hear anything out of the main, this is going to apply to any channel. This is important. First off, hit main and say, man, I don't hear anything. Make sure this is good. Nothing else also happened is that you can mute a channel by pushing on this button. And now if I don't have any lights, and if I turn this knob and I don't see any lights, it's muted. So if I still don't hear anything, I'm going to push that and see if that comes back. And sure enough, there it is. There's also a mute button over here, and there's a way to mute it here. Another thing that I'm not sure why they did it. It's a bit confusing. So I pretty much always ignore this, and I mute and unmute channels from here. But I just make sure then that it's unmuted and that you see lights, and as you turn that, okay, yes, I have lights, we're good. Now then, limiter. This is set so that really loud things won't blow out your ears. You have those in-ear monitors in your ear. You can't get away from a loud sound without ripping them out of your ear. This will help at least minimize some of that. But it's really sensitive and can really affect the overall sound of your mix. So I'm very, very cautious about how much you use it. If I go all the way over here to the right, it's wide open. It's not doing any limiting. This is a little backwards from how you would normally set something up. Normally you would say that is off. But in this case, this is off. Going here to the channels, obviously I've got drums left and right in my studio. You guys just have a single drum mix. Let me show you how it works, whether or not it's a single or double. I click drums and then I can sit and say, okay, I can do two things. I can adjust what's the volume of the drums and what's the panning of the drums. Are they to the left? Are they to the right? Etc., etc., etc. I personally like to have drums in the dead center. I want you guys to learn to use this stereo spread to help define things in your ear, and I'll kind of walk you through that as we go. I personally like drums in the center, especially right now I have them this way. So for me, centers in the studio, it just means that since these are stereo linked, they act as one left and right. And that means I'm hearing, if I have it center pan, I'm hearing them both on the left and the right evenly. But for you, it would be a single channel. It'd be just like, so let me go to the bass, and this is also the way you would do the drums. Set volume, and then set pan. I like bass in the middle as well. I like my rhythmic instruments right there smack in the middle. It's up to you, but do use this ability to get things out of center and spread around. It'll really help you hear. I also recommend setting things up as you're on the stage. So if I'm on the stage looking out at the soundboard at church, I like to mix things as they are relative to me. So Electric One at church is usually where Dave Drum is at, okay? That's his channel. That's Electric One's usually that right there. So me, I'll put it over here. If I'm standing in the middle of the stage, I'll say, okay, I'll put this over here because that's kind of where he is physically on stage. And then when Matt's playing, it's usually Electric 2. I'm going to put that way over here. and that's where he's at. Now I really hear the guitars very separate, and again, just volume accordingly. Acoustic guitar, again, where you want it. You guys will have, and then keys for you guys. This is a stereo pair here as well, but at church you have keys and you have piano, and I can't remember exactly what channels they are. They're over here somewhere. But keys is what Dave Brown's usually playing. So you hit the keys and again pan it where, like I like to do it kind of where he's at on stage again. And then if I go back to piano and where the piano is, maybe even though the piano's in the middle, because I have Dave Brown way over here, we're not using the piano on Sundays hardly, but if we do, I may move it over here towards completely opposite of Dave Brown. On Sundays, you guys were running track, so let's say I've just selected the track channel, even though I just said keys right. Pretend this is the track channel. Because I had Dave Brown way over here, I may move the track to right here to keep it separate. Or you may say, I want that track because the track's got a lot of audio information in it. I'm going to put it in the middle and move Dave Brown over here to the side. However you want to do it. You click. You may feel better saying, I want the click way over here. I only want to hear it in one ear. That's totally up to you, wherever you need to set it, and then set your volume. With the vocals, what I recommend is, let's say, take yourself and put yourself in the center. Okay? And then take everybody else and get them out of center. Spread them out how they are on stage. So wherever you are, center, this is how again, it's just a recommendation. Just a recommendation, it's something you don't have to do, but grab it and try it and see how it goes. Put yourself in the center, because you're going to hear yourself in your own head as well. But then if you take everybody else and move them out of center, you're able to hear them really well and hear where things go. Now, this last channel, I believe we have pastors, the speaking mics, and you also happen to have the audience. Probably leave that center because the audience mics, at least you can hear them, you'll be able to hear the crowd on both sides, but again, it's up to you. Once you have your mix set and you've got things panned the way you like them, say you decide, man, I'm hearing way too much rumble from somebody's microphone or whatever. The guitar's a little muddy. I can grab it and I can grab this EQ now. It's like a 3-band EQ, a low, mid, and high. And this mid, this is the volume for the mid-range, however you want to boost or cut. And here you can select the frequency. Most of the time you guys aren't going to have to mess with this, the middle thing. Just kind of leave them straight up. But maybe I'm hearing too much rumble out of the guitar. It's not distinct enough for me. You can lower the low end, or you can raise the high end of any channel and your main mix. You can also set an EQ for your main mix. Once you have it set and you have everything the way you like it, select. You have 16 different slots that you can store stuff in. Select the number that you want to use. Coordinate with everybody else so that you guys aren't using, like if multiple people are using a vocalist P16, make sure then that you're using a number that's unique to you and not to somebody else who might also use that P16. Try to coordinate that. But once you get whichever one you want to set it at, store, and while holding store, push once on the number you want to save it at and push again. Now it's stored. And then for recall, it's the same thing. Recall, I'm going to recall my mix. Somebody else used it, and I'm going to go back to what I had last time I was up here. Recall, find whatever my number is, boom, boom. And now it should be recalled. Hey everybody, that's a quick down and dirty video on how to use the P16s. I hope it didn't go by too fast for you. Obviously, now that this is posted, you can come back and watch it anytime. I want to leave you with a few final thoughts. One, if you are using your in-ears and you got your own, I highly recommend buying a decent set. Don't just use the earbuds that come with your smartphone. You want to get something like these right here. And we're not going to worry about what particular manufacturer this is, but it will allow this to go into your ear and actually get inside, so that if I put this in, it will go over the top, and then I can put it right inside my ear, and it isolates now. It's actually really isolating. and it has a lot of great low end and stuff. When it does that, when it locks in and seats in your head, you'll hear a major difference. And it goes over the top of the ear. That way I can pull on it, it's not going to pull out. The typical kind that come with your smartphone or whatever, or even just some cheapos from Walmart's aren't going to get it. You don't have to spend a lot of money. These are 20 bucks off Amazon. I'll put a link right up here. There. I'll put a link of not a link, but a description of some kinds that you can go on Amazon and look for. You don't have to spend a lot of money. These are 20 bucks. You can spend 50 bucks. You don't need to really spend any more than 50 bucks. I'll be honest with you. I don't see any reason to. Not that I don't recommend it. There's some great ones. You can get custom molded ones, but you can spend up to $1,000. But for right now, don't worry about that. Buy what's comfortable for your pocketbook. Try a few different kinds, but get some good earbuds. Don't just use an off-the-shelf type. 2, make sure you're using both of them. Get both earbuds in the ear. It'll make a huge difference on how you hear, how your mix sounds. It will just sound better. That's one reason why I put up the audience mics up on the stage, so you won't feel quite as disconnected from the stage. If you have both of them in, at least you're gonna be able to hear both in to help your mix really well. And finally, just if you have any questions, any thoughts, any suggestions on how we can do all this better, please don't hesitate to shout out to Nicole or myself. And we want to make sure that we make this stage experience the best it can be. That's all I got for now. You guys take care. See you later.